moreover, what makes Rain so unique, again, is that our product is a first-to-market seed-based nutritional company. There's no one else like that out there. We have a very powerful product that gives you an immediate experience when you taste that or you feel that, you rub it in. It allows individuals and folks to be able to get that experience and begin their belief-building process and understanding of what soul is all about as well. But to emphasize this point a little bit more, let's take a look a little bit at the industry and the history of network marketing. It used to be that herbs was the big element, and that as new companies came online in the industry, they saw that they made billions of dollars, they helped millions of people, and they made hundreds of millionaires because they were first to market in the herb avenue of the industry. Then came along the pills and capsules, who made billions in sales, helped millions of people, and again made hundreds of millionaires. Essential oils, see the same thing. The first to market companies, again, made billions of sales, helped millions of people, and made hundreds of millionaires by that. So when we look at the trend and the history, it's not a far stretch and understand to say that as a company like Rain, being the first company focused on seeds, what do you think is going to happen for us? Well, I believe we're going to make billions of dollars in sales. We're going to help millions of people, and we're going to help hundreds of millionaires become millionaires. That's just where we're at. We're very unique in that aspect. Although our product, is not like anything else out there, we still need to go out and make the effort in sharing and teaching that product and how the efficacious nature to that. And so, to that point, let's talk now for a little bit more about the seeds and why seeds. Okay? First and foremost, they're diverse. Very high levels of nutrients. We learned over the last couple of weeks from Dr. Weeks that the seed coat, the actual outer edge of the seed, has very high levels of the nutrients in that, most dense, in fact. That reduces the likelihood of free radical damage. Very powerful product in that regard. And later on in this presentation, I will show you, as I have a slide from Brunswick Laboratories that really illustrates, it's the most recent slide and information that we have from them. The oils and flowers extracted from the seeds provide protection to your cells. Again, very powerful, and it's all based off seed. All that, it's all focused in right into that tiny little seed. And if that little tiny seed can sit on a shelf for a year or two and then still be thrown out in the dirt and grow a tree or grow a plant, all those nutrients are packed in there, ready to go for your consumption. And finally, the seeds, they're 20 to 30 times more potent than the fruit represented by itself, okay, gram for gram. So as you talk to the individuals, help them understand these components, these 4 brief components that will help them understand and set Rain and Soul apart from any other product out there. The history of our product has been quite amazing, and it has a great story that leads to individuals needing to build up their immune system, get the nutrients from a strong, solid source, and these are the ingredients, of course, that we have in there. Therefore, in teaching them, folks, help them understand this. Number 1, black cumin has a very rich past. Ancient civilizations used black cumin. It's found in Pharaoh's tomb. We know and understand that it's been recorded by Muhammad and it's written in the Old Testament and from Isaiah. It has a long history to that. But the present factor now has shown with this modern science the effectiveness of black cumin and why it is so great. And then these patents aren't specific to Soul, but rather show that if there's a product or an item that has a patent on it, there's clearly a lot of research and a lot of studies on that. And that'll be emphasized here a little bit more as well. Let's read through this. Black cumin seed, okay, also known as black seed or Nigella stevia, has a history that spans over 2,500 years, making it one of the best natural elements for human consumption. Black cumin seed is an adaptogen, which means is an agent causing adaptive reactions. It has the ability to increase the resistance of the human body, protecting it against various ailments. Clinical trials have shown that black seed oil assists in many elements and is considered to be one of the greatest health substances of all time. For 2,500 years, there's history that shows this particular ingredient. And not a whole lot of folks know about it. But you have the opportunity, again, to share people with this information and leverage that. Some of the other aspects. It enables effective regeneration of cells in the respiratory tract. It helps with irritation and diminishing the itching symptoms. Protects joints by contributing to the regeneration of cartilage and producing synovial fluid in the way that joints move easier and become more relaxed. And one of the largest aspects is the anti-inflammatory effects. It's no surprise to you, as you know and understand, that inflammation, chronic inflammation, is not a good thing. Now, inflammation at a very small level, for example, getting a sliver in your finger, it may become inflamed, but your body's going to work to evacuate that particular sliver or that ailment. But the chronic inflammation at the cellular level, that's what we're talking about, and that's what this has the ability to help with. But you'll notice there that there's 328 studies by my last check on PubMed.gov of studies specifically to black cumin. PubMed publishes peer-reviewed documents. Basically, individuals or scientists will study one particular element or ingredient or item or whatever it may be, and another group will do the same thing, and they come to the same results. So they're verifying that these studies are 100% legit. And so for having that many, that's quite amazing. The next thing, black raspberry seed, okay, contains natural plant chemicals that act as antioxidants to locate and destroy free radicals. In fact, raspberries are among the top 10 antioxidant fruits and vegetables. Among several other benefits, the components of the raspberry seed may help prevent cell damage and preventing premature aging. It helps optimize the glucose level in the blood, prevents the formulation of crystals in uric acid along the joints. You can look down this list, how it optimizes the distribution in blood tissues, helps beneficial in affecting the stabilization of blood pressure. And then finally, contains phytoestrogen, having the retention effect on the tissue, soothing the skin from the inside. Now, a lot of this as individuals, as you might share, may be a little bit abstract, but as you continue to review and understand what these are, you'll see how each and every person, no matter their walk of life, where they're from, their age, they are going to benefit from these ingredients. Last check on PubMed.gov, 116 studies on the black raspberry. Grape seeds. Grape seeds contain high levels of proanthocyanins, which have been shown or proven to have a special value for the brain health and cognitive function due to their free radical quenching and collagen protecting effects. Proanthocyanins have been proven to be especially effective in neutralizing the hydroxyl radicals, the most damaging of all free radicals, as well as the lipid peroxidase. Proanthocyanins have also been shown to noticeably delay the onset of lipid peroxidation and to effectively chelate iron ions. Chelation is actually the assistance in removing of excess iron. Having too much irons can be a bad thing, so this actually helps remove and chelate some of those iron ions. Proanthocyanins are available across, or actually even able to cross the blood barrier, brain blood-brain barrier in order to protect the delicate brain and nerve tissues. You do some research on it's actually quite amazing as I've read through and just trying to understand from my simple mind in terms of the science behind this. I cannot believe how fantastic that this seeds, and it goes to show that you look down this list and then there's 1,352 studies on PubMed.gov. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and here we have it in an ingredient, in a product that with the synergistic blend from the black cumin and the black raspberry really helps boost us all to that synergistic effect, having a very, very powerful product. And as I mentioned this, you can look down this list on additional items that it's been known to help with and assist in. Very powerful. And certainly not to mention that the resveratrol from the grape seeds is a very powerful antioxidant. And then finally, D-ribose. It's a 5-carbon sugar found in every cell of our bodies. Ribose D combines with oxygen and ATP to give each cell, okay, the energy that it needs. Ribose D is also present in RNA, which is one of the main information carriers for all living organisms. Our bodies handle oxidative stress daily. However, if our bodies experience an abnormal increase in free radicals due to exercise, daily stress, excess smoking, excess saturated fat intake, depressed immune system, aging, etc., it can go on and on, the body becomes fatigued and less effective in producing ribose D and replenishing cellular energy. Because of this, we need to supplement with ribose D in order to regenerate the cell's energy system. Now we'll consume, and there's other sugars that are a 6-carbon sugar that we consume, but it's all those our body has to break down to a usable 5-carbon sugar. Ribose D is already in that form, which allows it to go to work in our bodies immediately. You'll see here on this list as well, kind of further explains some of the benefits of ribose D. You'll note there at the bottom that it's been shown to help improve sleep, controls fatigue, aids in concentration, relieves pain, and improves the general state of a patient, as noted by Dr. Jacob Tillebaum. So you'll see and understand why this ingredient's in there, because our bodies need that energy. We need to really give that mitochondria in the cell a little bit of a boost. Now, there's been a lot of studies and a lot of research on the other ingredients, as I've shown through PubMed.gov. But look at this. Over 27,000 studies on PubMed just on D-ribose. That says something, doesn't it? Understands that there's a whole community and folks that understand that this is what our body needs to help produce and give us energy to move forward and do things. Now, finally, the omega-3s, 6, and 9s that are represented in Soul through the plant-based omega-3s and 6s and 9s is a fantastic. We know that these fatty acids are important for all systems of our body to function normally, including your skin, respiratory system, cellular, circular system, brain, and organs. Okay? There are 2 of these fatty acids, okay, our body does not produce on their own, and that's omegas-3s and 6s. And our bodies actually will. So those omega-3 and 6 are essential omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-9s are actually a non-essential fatty acid because our body will produce it on their own if and when there's enough omega-3 and 6 represented and present. So we need to make sure, of course, that we're getting our 3s and our 6s, which have been shown to help and assist in benefits of asthma and diabetes and arthritis and osteoporosis and skin disorders and blood pressure. We know and understand that omega-3s are very important. And most of the world consumes their omega-3s through a fatty fish. However, personally, we know and have probably seen some studies and some reports that fish can be contaminated in high levels of mercury and have been detrimental to health. And it's also hard and difficult to prevent that fish oil from going rancid while it sits on the shelf. And therefore there's other preservatives and things in there that may not necessarily be ideal. And so to be able to have a plant-based omega-3, 6, and 9, that is a very beneficial component. Now, because of all this, because of all these ingredients you've seen, a very powerful tag or term out there that people hear, you know, the antioxidants and the ORAC score, which is oxygen radical absorption capacity. This is the latest report that we've received from Brunswick Laboratories, and it's actually really quite amazing. You'll notice here that there is 17, well, let's just say nearly 18,000 ORAC score on here. In a box of Soul that comes with 30, there's 269, nearly 270,000 ORAC score on that. Absolutely amazing. Now this recommends, so 17,980 is a daily consumption. We recommend 4 ounces, and so it's 2 packets. So even at 1 packet a day, you're still nearly 9,000 ORAC, which is extremely impressive for that. And so when you look and you start comparing, you know, what else you have to consume to reach that score, it makes a lot of sense to be able to take a product as powerful as Soul. And so when people look at this, I don't know, I haven't seen anything higher than that. If you do, feel free to let me know. But this is a very powerful product, and it's fantastic that Brunswick Laboratories continues to want to work with us. And in future, not too far off distance webinars here on Saturday mornings, we're going to have the Brunswick Laboratories actually present one for us. And so you'll, of course, want to continue to stay plugged in to these webinars as we present each Saturday. Now, the process in which we manufacture Soul is important to a lot of people as they start asking questions and want to understand our manufacturing process. First, remind them and let them know that our manufacturer is a partner in this venture. And so they themselves put a lot of care and extra steps into making sure that our product is of the highest efficacious nature, that there's no chemicals, that the quality of the product's preserved throughout, and help them understand too that we don't take anything out of there. We don't put anything other than the natural ingredients. We put those, you know, of course, all together to make that synergistic blend. But I think it's important to note that some people, as they try that, they'll say, well, that seems kind of gritty. Remember that Dr. Weeks has taught us that that seed coat is extremely important. That has the most nutrient-dense components, so we don't want to take out some of the strongest components of that product. That gritty goodness is exactly what our bodies need. So we learned that Soul is essential. Essential fatty acids, essential nutrients, essential cell protection. That not only have a lot of folks had an experience with it from pain, from other testimonials we've heard, but the bottom line is that it is essential, and our bodies need this. We understand that our bodies are amazing. They can heal so many ailments that we have, but we need to give our bodies the nutrients it needs to do so. And Soul is that. As you continue to share with individuals about the company and the opportunity, help them, and always remind yourself of the process and the rain cycle that we have, and we'll continue to do more and more training on this as well, of the fuel. This is how you get started, the foundation, databasing, getting the information on paper where you can start putting your game plan together, the launch and doing meetings and start interacting with folks and being confident and sharing information with them. Even if you don't know everything, you know where you can find it. The message of the company, the history of the product itself. You'll learn the results and how to close and follow up and resolve any of those concerns. And the lifestyle, what you want this to be for yourself. Many great things are going to happen.